Cool.
Let's do it. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bobby was really nice, and he came to pick me up before we're going to spend the day together and get lots of footage. And you guys know me. I'm always looking to make all the content I can in the time that we have. So we're going to drive from here to Pendleton. Are we going there?
We're going to Pendleton.
To Pendleton, awesome golf course in near Richmond. And I figured I'd use the time to do one of these long-form kind of discussions with Bobby as
Pendleton Golf CLub. We might as well use the...
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you know... Here it is.
Tell us if we're have any problems.
Because I'm sort of lost back in here. I tell you what a beautiful place. What is that, your brother's place?
Yeah, this is Governor's Land. So the golf course here is Two Rivers. Have you played it?
Yes, I played it, and
okay.
It's a great golf course.
Do you know Chris Waring, the pro there?
No, I don't know
okay.
Chris. I don't think, but what am I doing here? It says directions, current location,
yeah.
Directions, route. Start. Since it's an hour and 26 minutes, forget it. We're going to beat
Starting
that.
route to Pendleton Golf Club.
Okay.
Southwest on Whitaker Island Road, then make a U-turn at South Freeman Road.
Uh-oh, they're making us make U-turns already.
Oh, that just saved us 20 seconds because it thinks we're U-turning and we're not. All right. So, Bobby, just concentrate on driving and we'll talk
right
kind of naturally.
Road, then turn left.
Let me turn the sound down on this thing.
Yeah. Cool. So I got my 2 bags, golf clubs, and club holder. Cool. So Bobby, when we did the, you guys maybe have seen it already. I don't know if I put it on the channel yet, but turn left here. Yeah. That's the only way out of here. Yeah. So when we did the VFW tournament, and Bobby was really nice and an awesome host for it. You were walking around, and a lot of what you were doing was telling golf jokes. So
all kinds of jokes.
Yeah, not just golf jokes. So tell us, like, what's your killer joke that you think maybe gets the biggest laugh?
Well, I don't know if we can put it on your channel.
Well, that we would put on YouTube. What's the?
Okay, which way is left or right? What are we
I
going?
think right. We
it
almost
says
always
turn
go
left.
Right. Okay. You definitely trust the iPhone more than me because I'm from California.
Well, the one joke the guys were laughing at a lot was I told them this girl was a fight fan, see? So she goes into a tattoo shop and she tells the tattoo guy, "Can you draw Muhammad Ali here on her upper right leg?"
Okay.
And Mike Tyson on my left leg.
Uh-huh.
The guy says, "Sure." He draws it on there, and she's so proud of this thing. It looks so good. She's dying to show somebody. So she's walking down the street. And she sees an old man on the corner, and she lifts up her skirt and she says, "Does that look like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson to you?" And he cocks back like this, looks, and he goes, "No, but the one in the middle looks like Don King."
That's funny.
So that's one of the ones that got him pretty good. But I just like spending time with those guys because, you know, they're the guys that make the sacrifice, and so many of them today, like your brother and everything, you know, they signed up. It's not like somebody put a gun to their head and said, "Hey,
right, yeah,
you know, you got drafted." They volunteered to defend their country, and I think that should be honored.
Yeah. And then also you were telling some. So tell us about just going back. Give us a brief history of like the kind of the story of your history with golf. Like, how did you get into it? And then tell us a bit about like your competitive, like what you did in competition and stuff, and where you competed.
Well, the way I came up the ranks was a lot. Today doesn't exist anymore, and that's a sad part. The same way in Spain also. There's no caddies anymore. I wasn't a caddy.
Right.
It's just that, you know, baseball season ended, and they built this golf course right alongside the park where I used to hang out and play baseball as a kid.
Yeah.
And you know, Little League.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And my mother kept leaving 75 cents on the table, which is what it cost to go hit a basket of balls back then for a junior. And she got a set of clubs that were given to her by a doctor she worked for. And they were wooden shafts.
Did your mom play?
No.
Okay.
Real live wooden shafts.
Yeah.
And I only had one wood. It was a 3-wood. It was a ladies 3-wood, a Louise Suggs 3-wood with the whipping falling off, you know, the string. So I went over there one day and hit some balls, and I said, wow, this is pretty cool. So then I went again, and then...
how old were you?
About 10.
Oh, okay, wow.
And then, you know, back in those days, you know, you were 10 years old, you walked around on your own. I mean, today it's a different world. I mean, it's unfortunate, but anyway, I finally went over there, and the manager, Woody Laughinghouse, he walked up to me and he handed me 3 balls. I didn't know who he was then, you know, but he says, here, son, go over there and putt on the putting green. So I thought, well, that was pretty cool. So I went over and put on the putting green, and then finally I got out the guts to go play.
Yeah.
And they had an afternoon twilight thing or something. And I waited for everybody to tee off because I was too embarrassed, you know. And I was just standing there, and all of a sudden this guy who turned out to be Howard McCaig worked there. It was a public course, you know, it's a city course. He said, son, do you want a green fee? And the only thing I thought was, holy crap, I was putting on that putting green and I wasn't paying when I should have. And I said, no, I want to play the whole course. And he cracked up. And off I went. And then I don't remember how many times I played, but I was playing all by myself late in the afternoon like always, and on the 3rd hole, all of a sudden I saw this guy coming up in a golf cart, and I'd seen him before. I didn't know who he was. He was the head pro, Vince Allen. And he drove up next to me, and I thought I was in trouble. I thought I was going to get thrown off or something. And he said, put your sticks on the cart, you know. And I got in the cart with him, and he took me under his wing and gave me a job picking up balls on the range. I used to get $25 a week to pick up balls all summer long.
And were you able to play for free?
I was able to play for free, and he took me out for a lesson like 2 o'clock almost every day.
Oh wow, that's cool.
We'd go out and play 9 holes in the afternoon, you know. And he was a great short game teacher, the world's best short game teacher. I mean, he had a heck of a short game.
And that's what we're going to talk about at Pendleton today a little bit, because we didn't get to do that last time I was here. But one of your students was telling me that you have some really cool, kind of insightful short game things that you do that are a little different. So that's cool. So we're talking around about what year when you were 10 years old?
1960.
Okay. So now it seems like, is it true or not? It seems like people were a little less busy back then, or no?
Oh yeah, I mean
it seems like everybody's so busy now.
Yeah, well, you know what it is. It's like me coming over here too. I'm getting phone calls on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at the GPS thing. Yeah. You know, I'm getting text messages.
Yeah.
And that's ringing, and you know. Oh.
Right. But like in 1960, if you're out on the golf course, there's no way to get a hold of you unless somebody walks out there physically.
Good.
Yeah. So it's just that must have something to do with golf improvement as far as no distractions. I know that Rory McIlroy, when he lost his game briefly, gave his phone to his manager, and he didn't even use it for, I think, 6 months.
There you go.
What do you think, like, as far as like getting better at golf in 1960 and getting better at golf now? What do you think are some of the differences and some of the similarities?
Well, if you're a kid like I was at 10 or 11, if your parents aren't members of the fancy schmancy country club, which unfortunately is getting like that in Europe and it's getting like that here, you can't work your way around the golf course. You can't work there when you're 12 years old.
Right.
Because the law won't let you anymore. Child labor or whatever it is, you know.
Yep.
Which I think is a big mistake. Because kids learn to work, number one, and they can wash off carts and stuff like that. I mean, come on. So if you don't have a dad that can say, hey, son, go play at the golf course and just sign the tab, you know, how do you get better? And,
right, you just did a lot of range rats. Yeah.
You know, how do you get better? I mean, you can afford the range balls. And then the other problem is so many golf courses have this debt service that they have to meet. So they can't just give it away to the kids. I mean, I used to play for 75 cents.
Yeah.
You know, but it was a city course, you know. So in Richmond, I guess Belmont would be the comparable. It's a county course in Henrico County. To where, you know, maybe you can buy a kid a membership for $500 a year and he can walk and play golf every day.
Yeah.
You know, I lived on the golf course. That's when I got out of school, I was at the golf course.
So then how did you go from just feeling totally embarrassed on the golf course to then being like a very good golfer? And how long did that take you? before you felt like, okay, I'm pretty one of the best players here at this course that I'm at?
Well, I broke 70 for the first time when I was 14.
Okay.
Shot 68.
That was a par 72 course?
Oh yeah,
okay.
a pro golf course. In fact, I was playing with the pro and the mayor and the city manager.
Was it in like a Chamber of Commerce tournament or something?
No. What happened was, I had a bad temper when I was young.
Really? Yeah.
And oh yeah, boy, I was terrible. And I remember Mr. Allen, the pro there. He took me aside and he said, "Look, you're playing with the mayor today." He says, "You lose your temper, you little blah blah blah." And
yeah, right.
And I said, "Okay." So the very first hole.
The mayor of what?
Dade County, Steve Clark.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
And the city manager was Mel Reese, which is what the golf course is called now, Mel Reese Golf Course.
Yeah.
Right. And the first hole, I 3-jacked from like 20 feet.
Yeah.
I 3-putt. And he could see the smoke coming out of my ears. And he just looked at me, and I looked at him, and I knew, uh-oh. And I very gently put my putter in the bag.
Yeah, right.
And I went into a coma.
Yeah.
I literally went to sleep.
Right.
Because I played the next hole as a par 5, and I didn't make birdie, so now I was really disgusted.
Yeah.
And I just went to sleep. The next thing I know, I still remember the round. I birdied number 6, I think it was. Yeah, and I got to number 9 and knocked in a snake from like 45 feet.
Yeah.
So now I'm 1 under. I go to 11, and I birdie 11. I birdie 13. And we go to the 15th tee, because I birdied 14, I think. That put me 4 under.
Yeah.
And I'm on the 15th tee, and Steve Clark looks at me and he goes, "Hey, Bobby, do you realize you're 4 under par?" And Vince Allen looks at me and goes, "Don't tell him. Let him go back to sleep."
Yeah.
And I went like, huh? And I remember just looking at the right side of the fairway, and there was water on the left. And I said, "I'm just going to hit it on the right side of the fairway like I always do." And I went back to sleep and just went par. But what helped me a lot was, I should say this or not, but it's the way it goes, but gambling.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah, because, the only way I could make money as a kid, and I didn't come from a really wealthy family or anything, so I didn't have any allowance or anything. And me and another kid from school named Bill Harrelson, we used to I take my grandfather's lawnmower, and we take his old man's lawnmower, and we go door to door, and we would mow lawns for $3.50 a piece.
Yep.
And then I made, that kind of money to spend on golf balls or whatever.
Yeah.
Of course, I always look around the water hazard to see what I can find, but so then when I realized, I said, the rest of the kids are making $1.35 an hour at Burger King.
Yeah.
I got some money saved up, and I went, well, let me get in on this action. And it was mostly the guys that were the baggage handlers at Miami International Airport.
Okay.
Because Lejeune Golf Course was right next to the airport there. So.
Yeah.
And they were pretty good, they were really good, and they were great guys.
Yeah.
They took me on, they called me the little duffer. And here I'm, 14 years old, and I'm gambling with all these grown men.
Yeah.
but it gave me such competition and confidence that when I got to high school, I got on the first tee and I said, "Okay, guys, what is it? $20 slide, $10 birdies." And the coach just told me, "You can't do that."
So at that point, minimum wage is like $1.50 or $1.35.
Right.
And so you'd have days on the golf course where you'd win $20.
No, 60, $80.
Really?
Yes, I was walking around.
You're like making as much as your mom.
No, here, worse than this. Then there was a putt-putt.
Yeah.
Right there next to the airport too, real close. And I'd go over there early on a Saturday morning, and I would play it a bunch of times and just memorize every one of those boards. I knew exactly where to hit that ball on the board.
On the mini golf course.
On the mini golf.
As far as the ricochet, like
right,
hit the spot. Yeah.
Right. And I could go around there and make 6-7 hole-in-ones in the round.
Yeah.
And then at night we would go there after playing golf all day, and these guys would show.
Do mini golf when you first woke up, just as practice.
I'd go over there just to practice it with nobody seeing me.
And then you play golf all day, and then you go back at night.
I didn't want them to see me practice.
Right.
So I go there and practice, get it down, and I had it down.
Yeah.
Wasn't doing it every Saturday, but once I got it down, I knew it. I knew that thing at the back of my head. So then at night, you'd go there, and all these guys would show up with their little putt-putt shirts. They had like a black shirt that said putt-putt on it.
Yeah.
And some of them never played golf in their life, but they had a putter and they had a Titleist ball.
Because they're real into putt-putt.
They're into putt. It was on TV, remember? They used to have camp. So
yeah, I've seen pictures of how popular.
I hope we're going the right way.
Yeah, I think we are.
200 feet, turn right onto Sturgeon Road Point.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then that road will be an extremely crazy road. I don't know if you took it on the way here.
No.
But it's a very small, windy road. All right.
So anyway, about 18, 20 guys will show up on a given night, like a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And you put in $1, and winner took all.
Uh-huh.
And we'd go around that thing, 8 or 10 times. So if I went and I won 3 times, I could win $60.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me, so in those days, like your young teenage years at the golf course in Miami, tell me about your best day winning wise, gambling wise, or best gambling story from that time.
Well, one, it was fun. Maybe some people would get it. I ended up getting on the tee with a guy by the name of Calvin Peete.
Oh, okay.
This was before Calvin Peete was Calvin Peete. Calvin Peete was just Calvin Peete.
So this is probably pretty close to when Calvin first started playing golf.
Well, this was
got good really quick.
Yeah, 68, 69, I think this was. And he had a red Cadillac with white interior, and he had a diamond in his tooth.
Yeah.
And he had this left arm, that was smashed up.
Uh-huh.
And turned out, me and another guy were playing him and another guy who'd won the public links at one time.
So this was what kind of format were you guys playing? Best ball?
Best ball.
Okay, yep.
Best ball,
like
2
Ryder
guys.
Cup style, yeah.
And I remember we got to the 18th tee, and we were 2 down with 1 to play. And this idiot that I'm playing with as a partner says, "Double it up." I caught you. Get out of your mind. Double it up.
And what were the stakes?
It was about, I think it was $20 a side, so we were down 40, possibly $60. We didn't watch out. So
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't big money we were playing for. It wasn't like we were playing for thousands of dollars.
No, right, but from your situation, it's pretty big.
And we got up on 18, and he knocks in the friggin' bunker on the second shot. And I knock it on the green, but I'm like 30 feet plus from the hole.
Yeah.
And Calvin's sitting there about 12 feet away, see? And so we figure we're toast.
Yeah.
He dumps it out of the bunker. I get ready to roll it, and I roll it, and it goes boom, right in the friggin' hole.
Oh, yeah.
And Calvin started laughing. He started laughing like crazy. He just looked at me, and he started laughing, and he rolled it. And he wasn't a very good putter back then.
Yeah.
He got better with time. He wasn't a real good putter. And he says, "Man," he says, "you were a lot of fun. Come on with me." We went for a ride in the car.
So it was nothing.
And we became friends. Yeah. It finished flat, but we became pals, and we hit balls together in that Sheraton field on Sheraton Avenue, in that school field.
Okay.
And they used to put in the PGA stuff and everything about, Calvin Peete was so poor that he had to hit balls on the school field. That's crap. We used to go there and hit balls on the school field so nobody'd see us practicing.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we'd go to Hollybrook, where Johnny Lopenzino was, and we'd all play golf, see?
Yeah.
And Johnny Lopenzino was a really good player. There was a lot of good players in Florida.
Uh-huh.
A lot of good players. Bruce Flesher went on to the senior tour, and Max Castro was my teammate in high school, and he was All-American at University of Miami.
I've heard that name on...
Yeah, Maxie lives in Tampa now.
Okay.
Great guy. Yeah, Maxie's a great guy. Great guy.
So then during your teenage years, you're playing a lot, you're gambling a lot, you're kind of feeling the pressure of competition. But now, when did you start to play like more official golf tournaments?
That was probably part of my downfall.
Yeah.
Is I didn't, because I didn't have the money to do it. I'll tell you.
The entry fee would be,
Well, here, one time I wanted to go play in the Florida Open.
Yeah.
I figured it cost me about $160 to go. And I already had my license, I could drive a car. But I didn't have any money, so I get on the practice putting green. Somebody could think I'm making this up because it's too good, but I'm telling you, I swear to you, it's true. And I putted with him on the putting green, and I get done, and it's $23, I think. I said, okay, now I got
$23 you won on the putting green?
On the putting green.
Just practicing before the tournament?
No, I'm not going to the tournament yet. I wanted to go to the tournament.
Right. So you're thinking.
But I had no money to go to the tournament.
Yeah,
so I get on the practice putting green with a guy, and I'm just doing my regular thing, and I win $23.
Yeah.
So then he says to me, I said, well, I need 160 to go to the tournament. This ain't going to be enough. He says, why don't you go to the dog track? I said, come on, you're kidding. I said, I can't get in the dog track. They got to be 21. He says, they won't know the difference. So I'd never been to the dog track in my freaking life.
Yeah.
Ever. Which way do we go? Do we turn right?
Okay. Yeah, we turn right here.
I don't know. So I go to the dog track by myself, right? And I was about 17, 18. And I go to the dog track. And I just sort of duck my head down a little bit as I'm going in, and I go right in. Boom! So I'm in here, and I'm freaking out because I'm going, here's all these people, and I didn't know what to do. And I remembered my uncle used to bet the 1-3, 3-1 Quinella.
Yeah.
So I said, what's how do you bet this? He goes, the daily double. I said, okay, I'll take one of those. I'll buy a 1-3 and a 3-1. So the first race goes off. Yeah.
You're just saying stuff. You don't really know what it means.
I didn't know. I had no idea. All I know is my uncle used to always bet the 1-3.
Okay.
So, I bet the 1-3 and the 3-dog wins. So I take the ticket and I rip it up. Then I was thinking about buying a beer and I said, no, I'm stretching it. I'm going to get in a lot of trouble.
I'm already 17.
So I'm not doing it,
Yeah.
I back off and I'm telling you, man, the next race goes off and this one dog is like somebody stuck a pin right up his backside. He just, zoom, he was gone. Wins and it pays 160 to 20.
160 to 20 for every
160 to 20. No, it paid $162.20.
Oh, 162 and 20 cents
for a $2 ticket.
Wow.
What were the chances of that? I run over to the window, and I figure for sure they're going to catch me. The guy hands me the money, and that's it. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I left.
That's so funny that...
I left the place.
The investment advice you get from gambling on the golf course is to go to the dog track.
Then I got to know a guy by the name of Lloyd Plotkin.
Yeah.
He was a redheaded guy from Boston. Mm-hmm. And he was a professional dog gambler.
Okay.
I met him at that same golf course. We had, met each other. He wanted to get better at golf. And I said, well, I'd like to go with you to the Dogstone Chase. Come on with me. We go in there, and honest to God, when he went in there, no charge, no nothing. Yes, Mr. Plotkin. Turned out his parents, his whole family, were big in the gambling business in Las Vegas. And he was like the black sheep of the family, didn't want to be involved in the family business in Vegas, so he went into dog gambling. And he's from Boston, and Boston has some of the best greyhounds.
Yeah.
So I went with him, and he was so good. He not only could tell you which dog was going to win, he'd tell you which dog was going to be leading at the first pole, which dog would be leading at the second pole, which dog would be leading at the third pole. I went to his condo in North Miami Beach, and he had one whole room all the way to the ceiling filled with nothing but programs.
Yeah.
Nothing but programs. He says, I know the dog's mother, I know the dog's father. He would go there early in the morning and knew if the dog was pooping right, peeing right, or feeling good, or was working, the doctor was working. He knew everything about the dog.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah. And so then we went there one day, and he says, how much money you got? I said, I got $50. He says, come here, I'm going to give you a bet. So he says, put all $50 on this 8 dog. We open up the program, and there's nothing in there, no information.
It just says 8, and that's
just says, and the name of the dog. I says, well, yeah, but he's never raced. He says, no, I know this dog. He's from Wonderland Park in Boston. The worst dog on his deathbed can beat any dog in Florida down here. They send him down here because he's sick. He's not feeling well. They're trying to rehabilitate him. And then they're going to send him back to Boston. I said, okay, if you say so. And just as I went to buy it, he says, no, wait, don't do it. And he's looking at the board, and he goes, no, wheel it in the Perfecta, 8 on top. So I bought the 8-1, 8-2, 8-3, 8-4, 8-5, right? That thing paid out something outrageous, like $1,800.
As far as like picking the top dog and the second dog.
Right. Well, if you bought everybody for the second dog, you can't lose.
Right.
If the 8 dog wins.
Right. Yeah.
That 8 dog won by like 12 lengths. It wasn't even a contest.
Like you knew by the first pole, like he was so.
It wasn't even. I was laughing so hard I didn't know what to do with myself.
And how much did that pay? That $50 bet.
That thing, that was like $1,800.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a humongous payout.
In 1967 or 66 or something. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, and we're back.